Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Dr. Pepper. This is The American on ESPN. And all of the top playoff contenders from the group of five are in The American. And no team has a better case right now than South Florida. But the Bulls don't just have the eye of Tampa. Everyone in the country is watching now. Everyone was watching last week when South Florida went to North Texas. This looked like their first major roadblock. Early it was sloppy, but in the middle of the game, South Florida started to get it rolling. 4 touchdowns in 3.5 minutes. A big trick play. Christian Neptune to Keyshawn Singleton. Wide receiver to wide receiver. Gave them the lead in the third quarter. Then it was the run game that started to pick up. Sam Franklin into the end zone. South Florida starting to pull away. And then the defense. They've forced so many turnovers this year. Jalen Schuler picks it up after Jarvis Lee forces the fumble. And that really put it away for USF. They go up 20 at that point, and they cruise in dramatic fashion to a 63-36 win over North Texas. Here they are, 5-1, 19th in the country as we look at our all-state playoff predictor. Memphis just lost to UAB, a shocking upset. So USF has the inside track to the college football playoff now. It is so great to have you with us, Jack Kaiser, alongside Craig Hawberg. Big picture-wise for South Florida, bright things ahead. As for tonight, this is a very unique matchup. You will not find a college football game in the country that is faster paced than this.
Yes, have a bottle of eye drops next to you because you may not have time to blink, because if you blink, you may miss something with the pace that both of these teams operate. And it's always neat. It's never too early to start talking playoffs. And South Florida looks to be the leading contender for one of those playoff spots.
Certainly after the Memphis loss today. And Alex Golesh, the head coach for South Florida, knows all about the tempo we're about to see tonight. He sees it every day in practice. We spoke to him earlier today. All right, Coach, we've got the 2 fastest tempos in the country tonight. With that in mind, what have you emphasized to your defense this week?
Yeah, I think as much as anything, our guys are ready in terms of they've seen it through spring, they've seen it through fall camp, and they certainly see it in crossover periods. Their defense has as well, so I think it'll be 2 well-prepared defenses. The biggest stressor to our defense is the ability to get them into 3rd and long and then be able to get after the quarterback. I think the tricky part with these guys is they'll go for it on 4th down just as much as anybody in the country as well. So you got to be able to tackle in space. They force you to cover the entire width of the field. And you got to understand, too, that there will be some explosive plays that happen. You got to be able to reset and make them snap it again.
Coach, such a dynamic part of your offense is your quarterback, Byron Brown. Leader in rushing, passing as well. What are your expectations for his balance tonight, and what do you need for him to help you get a W?
Yeah, I think just like any other week, you got to be able to operate, and you got to be consistent in terms of getting the ball to the right people. And when it's time to pull the ball down, you pull the ball down. You secure the heck out of the football when you do. When he's at his best, it's when he's in rhythm. It's when he's able to complete it's short and intermediate stuff, and then take the shots when the shots are there. But what's made him really special up until this point is he operates it extremely well. He's got such a great understanding for the entire offense, and he's just going to need to go operate within the system tonight.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much, guys.
Byron Brown is one of the best athletes in college football, already on track to be a legend at South Florida.
Yeah, he is one of the more well-rounded playmakers in all of the game. He not only naturally leads them in passing, but in rushing as well, and is top 10 nationally in points per game and points responsible per game. As a passer, as Coach said, he is best in that short to intermediate game, but he also has the arm strength to be able to drive the ball downfield. He's got plenty of playmakers around him, does a really nice job of getting them all involved, but this is where he is maybe most dangerous, either on design runs or when he scrambles, that ability to tuck the football and not only gain yards with his legs, but be a physical force as a runner.
As for the Florida Atlantic offense, this star duo coming from Western Kentucky, Caden Veltkamp and East
point. Veltkamp is a tall pocket passer with a quick release. He leads the conference in both passing yards and touchdowns.
dramatically improved Florida Atlantic's offense. Behind the on ESPN and ABC, and Texans Seahawks on ESPN. Both are available on ESPN Deportes and the all-new ESPN app. Coverage kicks off at 3 Eastern with NFL Live at Ford Field, followed by SVP in the Monday Night Countdown crew. Baker Mayfield MVP?
He certainly put forth quite a resume. What's great, though, is the quarterback play that you are seeing in this stadium this year, whether it's on a Saturday or a Sunday between Brown and Mayfield. Apparently Tampa, Florida is the place to be to see some fun quarterback play.
No doubt. Baker's been on fire. Alex Golesh actually got to go to the second NFL game of his life a couple of weeks ago here at Raymond James Stadium. See Baker play. Opening drive touchdown for the Bulls, and we'll see FAU's offense for the first time. Jay-Sean Platt deep to receive. Out he comes. Platt with a momentary seam up the middle and gets across the 20. Play drive for South Florida in just over 3 minutes to score a touchdown. And this is one of the top passing offenses in the country. Assad Wasim has become a big play target for the Owls.
Yeah, number 8 Messer and Belkamp have that relationship, but Wasim is really turning into a big play weapon as well. He's scored touchdowns in 4 of the last 6 games, leads the team in touchdown receptions. He's a big part of this offense.
They'll pick up a lot of short passes. There is Wasim with the first catch for FAU. And we're going to see them scramble to position just like USF does. 2 fastest paced teams in the country. Back to it. There's the first catch for Easton Messer to set up 3rd down.
Yeah, they're really neither team. They're going to take their shots, but neither team's going to really consistently drive the ball downfield. Both of them, especially Florida Atlantic, short, quick passes. Belkamp has got a really quick release. They're going to almost use the quick passing game to the edge as an extension of their run game.
Another short pass outside, and they swing it for a first down. Wasim's second grab.
I want to see him right out there. Nice job there, adjusting to the football and then quickly turning upfield again. That quick passing game to them is like the run game for a lot of teams and helps them move the chains. 3 quick passes, first down.
Yeah, 120 rushing yards a game near the bottom of the American. But Todd Orlando is concerned about those short passes. We've seen a bunch already. Caden Shields Dutton gets tripped up and dives forward for maybe a yard.
A sophomore who really kind of was a key in their win a week ago. He's really starting to emerge in that backfield, tough physical runner.
First penalty of the game.
Second down.
The first time we've heard from Matt Overton. With how short these passes tend to be for both teams, we'll see if the defenses begin to press forward at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and long. Over the middle, and a catch from Michael Kirch, the tight end, and D2 transfer from Thomas Moore.
Yeah, but going back to what you just said, that's what these offenses want. They want to attack short. They want you to creep up, and then that's when they take that shot downfield. Interesting. One of the big differences between his offenses, you talked about Kirsch with the catches. South Florida will use a lot of 11 personnel, 1 back, 1 tight end. Florida Atlantic is a lot more 10, 1 back, 0 tight end, trying to keep those 4 talented receivers on the field. As they are now, Jack.
No surprise, it's 10 personnel. Stacked to the left, they will run it on 3rd down, and it's short. Shields Dutton did not get there, and we'll see if Zach Kitley rolls the dice. This is the most aggressive 4th down team in the country.
And this is where they're most successful. I went back and looked. Of all their 4th down conversions from 4th and 4 yards and under, they are 10 to 12 on the year and pretty balanced. 10 runs, 10 passes. Not shocking, as you mentioned, to see him going forward here, even in their own side of the field.
Veltkamp dives ahead, and he got it. chose to keep and dive ahead. Very smart.
Yeah, you got a 6'6" quarterback. Let him get forward, lean into it, let the running back lead the way and use that height.
Already snapping, already taking a shot down the field. Flag is out. Incomplete, intended for Henry. And Deshaun Rucker's going to be called for a penalty.
Yeah, clear tug on the jersey there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You're feeling good, Jack. You picked up that first down. Now take your shot. It's got the step you can see there. Out. He's impeding his progress downfield. Easy call there for the officials.
Chose the 15 instead of giving up the touchdown. Now FAU on the move, their first drive. Another short pass to the outside again. Jay-Sean Platt with the catch. His breakout season in Zach Kitley's offense after barely playing the last 3 years.
He's been really productive. Actually, top 20 in all-purpose yards. Very talented kick returner as well.
Messer leading the nation in catches per game. 9 catches a game for Easton Messer, but he can do it in so many different ways.
And you, as you mentioned at the top, too, the relationship. Those two got a strong synergy.
Right back on the ball, 3rd and short. Infield goal range. Shields Dutton alongside Velkamp. Messer has space, weaves ahead, put his head down, and got the first. Jarvis Lee with the tackle, but a first down for Messer.
They had a nice job blocking there from number 3, Platt. If you're going to use that short passing game as a receiver, not only need to be able to catch passes, but you need to be able to help your teammates and be active as a blocker.
And a timeout for South Florida.
First charge timeout.
This is
South
a long
Florida.
drive developing for Florida Atlantic.
Media
You would imagine
timeout.
the Bulls are a little bit gassed with this tempo.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Athletics. And what a night here at Raymond James Stadium. 7-0 South Florida with Florida Atlantic driving. Let's check out our Fansville College Football update brought to us by Dr. Pepper. Memphis goes down to UAB. They just let go of Trent Dilfer. You never know how the next game's going to go, and Memphis found out the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love college football. Then you see Miami on the other end. South Florida's lone loss of the year to Miami. Miami goes down there, so Always a lot of twists and turns in college football. And the day's not even over.
Still got plenty of ball left. Who knows what's going to happen tonight? FAU trying to pull off a ranked upset. And a signature win in Zach Kitley's first year. 11th play of the opening drive, and oh, a big negative play. Flying out of nowhere, it was Mac Harris. Loss of 8.
And Mac Harris going to come right up the A-gap. They turn him loose. Miscommunication between the right guard and center, and Mac Harris gets a free running shot. And this is a Florida Atlantic team that coming in and only let up 6 sacks on the year.
Awesome in pass protection, but a blown coverage.
Todd Orlando does a great job of disguising those defenses, and they're bringing the linebacker.
That is what Todd Orlando's definitely known for. 2nd and long. Short Wasim. Still going to be 3rd and long, just outside of the 30.
It's an interesting 3rd down here because we've seen how aggressive Florida Atlantic can be on 4th. But I think you got to pick up at least half of this before you think about that. If not, you're looking to kick.
Messer right around the original line of scrimmage. You would have to imagine it's a field goal coming here.
Yeah, I think in this game where there's going to be a lot of points, you got to make sure you get points on the board.
Zach Kitley knew, hey, the book's going to tell me to go for it even more than normal this game. FAU coming in as 20.5-point underdogs. But 4th and 10, a little bit too much, especially this early. A spirited conversation between Kitley and Veltkamp. Garrison Smith from 45. And it's through. Very accurate kicker, Garrison Smith. Makes it 7-3. FAU on the board. Offense to South Florida, year 3, USF thriving, 5-1, the leading contender to be the Group of 5 team that goes to the college football playoff, and facing another very fast-paced team and Florida Atlantic tonight, who just scored 3 on their opening drive. It was fast but long drives as far as number of plays for both teams to start. 12 for USF, 14 for FAU. And the Georgia Tech transfer Andrew Nelms will kick off for the second time this game. Isaac from his own goal line. And he's leveled. Just past the 15. Nailed by Hector Chavez. Whoa. What a hit. We'll see if that changes the vibe for FAU after this from USF.
Yeah, Byron Brown showing the legs early on, helping them to pick up a first down by scrambling there on that third down play. And then to hook up several times with Keyshawn Singleton to help keep that drive alive. And then a QB lead. Ultimately, Brown, who's our leading rusher, would taking himself and punching in.
First play goes on the ground for USF. Nakai Davenport, who's been in the mix at running back over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll have to see if number 4, Sam Franklin, gets involved tonight. He got a little banged up last week.
Now Franklin questionable with a toe injury. Byron Brown tucking, putting the shoulder down and running. And USF with a positive gain on first down. Now we expect them to go quick.
Again, we're just seeing how important and flexible he is to this offense. His ability with his arm and then what he can do with his legs.
Davenport for the second time. Just inside of the tackle. Head down, right at the line to gain. And it is enough for a first down. Tackled by Tyler Stolsky.
Davenport of that backfield group, he's more of their north-south bruiser of their backs.
And got more involved with the injury to Cartavius Norton out a couple of weeks ago against Charlotte. So Isaac, Davenport, and if Franklin's healthy, we'll rotate in there as well. All trailing Byron Brown in rushing yards, though. He is the offense. Coming around the edge, Christian Neptune, the talented freshman. Got a little bit of extra room. Pushed out at the 40-yard line by Dylan Williams, and USF on the move again.
Yeah, every time they motion him in the backfield, you got to be aware of Neptune. A week ago, threw a touchdown pass as well. He's kind of becoming their gadget player.
FAU has a chance to sub here. A very tired Wilkie Denard jogging off, along with Eric Brantley Jr. After the 20-yard run from the elusive Neptune. First down at the 40. Brown, long throw, Singleton, fourth catch, and tackled by Stolsky.
They're giving Singleton cushion, and he's taking it. And again, you think of these explosive offenses, you think big play, big play. These are really more quick bites than big plays.
And Davenport inches ahead to make it third and manageable. That's got to be why it's so difficult to stop, though, because they're on the field for a long time and they're going fast.
Yeah, exactly. They're putting together drives, and they're really forcing you to keep covering the whole field.
Up the gut. Davenport, a little extra churn at the end. USF is one of the best teams in the country rushing after contact.
And Davenport's style certainly meets that. Continuing to move those chains.
4 for 4 on third down now for USF. Brown looking end zone. Singleton over his head. He's got the size to make that catch.
Yeah, well, those two have been on fire here early on, so not shocking to see him take his chance a little bit further downfield, though. Good coverage.
Demarius McGee, step for step. He split the last 4 years at Kansas and LSU. A brand new FAU defense all around, especially in the secondary. Neptune will take the handoff after motioning. And he gets blown up in the backfield. Therese Reed came in for the tackle for loss.
They're very similar to the play that they ran a few snaps ago to Neptune, but this time a nice job defensively getting upfield, making a tackle in space.
Can USF stay perfect on 3rd down? Brown had that long run on 3rd and a mile on the opening drive.
And again, where we are in the field, South Florida maybe think we don't need to get all this, but we can get close enough. We'll go for it on 4th.
Brown does pick up a good chunk of it with the catch from Koger. Now decision time for Alex Golish.
Definitely inside their kicker Grammaticus range, and he's going to come out much like Florida Atlantic on that last drive. Move the ball downfield, stalls a little bit, make sure you come away with points.
I think the parking lot is Grammaticus range.
Yeah.
They do feel comfortable with him from about the 35, but his max line is 40. A 58-yard try. This is from 43. The game winner from 20 against Florida earlier this year, but Grammatica pushes it right. Only 2 misses all season, now 8 for 11.
No offense, that's on you with the parking lot, Jabber.
What are you talking about? Jinxes don't exist.
Just never kind of curves back in on him.
Maybe he had to be from 50 plus. Grammatica still an excellent kicker as just a sophomore. Some momentum for FAU after South Florida comes up empty. Back to work for the Owls. Ball's loose. Oh, it bounced right to Messer. What a lucky break.
Yeah. Trying to look to the back, it goes off the shoulder pad. Luckily, Messer, was a little bit of everywhere, was able to see it and fall on it. And that could really be the big differential in this game, is turnovers. You've got a Florida Atlantic team that's minus 11 versus a South Florida team that is plus 6.
It's been a major problem in the biggest games this year for Florida Atlantic. 2nd and very long. Veldkamp lumbering. Incomplete. Jayshon Platt with the drop. And in this situation, FAU's got to be really careful. 6 interceptions in the opener against Maryland. They can't afford to give it back to USF this deep in their own territory.
Yeah, this is a Bulls defense that in the last 2 games has forced 9 turnovers.
Veldkamp loads over the middle. Not even close. Dom Henry the catch, and he was stuck by Jarvis Lee and Jalen Schuler.
Well, hit the record button because you're probably going to see a rare punt here. But that first down miscue, those little things in a game like this could be so important with the pace of these teams. That first down play that just set them way behind the chains, and now forcing something you don't see terribly often, a punt.
Scheduled the recording for a couple of minutes. We'll see the punt after the break.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Both
Timeout.
teams with extended drives, showing off their quick tempos. Byron Brown, the lone touchdown. FAU's defense starting to pick up. 7-3 after 1. opening touchdown drive, just missed a field goal. FAU got a field goal on its opening drive for Zach Kitley, the first-year head coach. Now they'll punt it away. Logan Lupo had to punt just one time last week. And Alvin Isaac is deep. Friendly Owls bounce all the way down to the 25. This one continues. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets chippy between the in-state rivals. Conference foes meeting for the third time in conference play. Historically haven't played too often because these are two young programs. South Florida started playing in '97, Florida Atlantic in 2001. FAU's had some good years, especially under Lane Kiffin, 2017 to 2019. South Florida could perhaps be entering the golden years under Alex Golish. Inside track to the college football playoff and about to start their third drive. Brown rolling out, sidearm sling, and it's tucked away. Intended for Moody Rubin.
Good job in coverage.
Looks like that was Damon Allen, the freshman, who got a piece of it.
He's a versatile defensive back. They brought him on pressure a week ago. Young player to watch.
Designed run for Brown. Oh, a little sidestep. Brown still on his feet, accelerating and dances out of bounds.
What a luxury for an offense. Incompletion, you know what? Let's just reset the offense, let our quarterback run with the football, and a great job blocking downfield by the young freshman number 16, Koger, as well.
Brown now has 66 yards on the ground to go along with his touchdown. Looking in the air this time. Brown with all kinds of time. Brown finally throws deep and complete.
That's his lead blocker on the previous play. Koger downfield, doing a nice job. As you mentioned, plenty of time. And even though he's so dynamic as a runner, he takes his time, looks downfield, lets the play present itself, and then hit the young freshman who's really been emerging over the last 2 weeks.
Yep, 3 touchdowns the last 2 weeks for Koger. And a short pickup on the ground. First down with Isaac. Young receivers out there for South Florida. They've been a pretty young core to begin with, but without senior Chaz Nimrod out due to injury, time for some guys to step up like Koger.
Out of St. Francis Academy.
Little hitch, and Brown will run it. Another juke to pick up extra yards.
The nose tackle there, thought he got in there, had a little swim move, and Byron Brown kind of not wearing a top hat and a cape, but like a magician, kind of quickly squirted out of there.
Now there is a player down, and we'll step aside. sideline. And good luck to any interior defensive lineman against Byron Brown.
You see the nose trying to push. He goes to the left. Brown just slips right out to the right. Again, good protection, and defensive lineman thinks he's going to break free. And you see how dangerous Brown can be with his legs, finding the escape hatch. Putting him in a great situation here, Jack, is this third down, about a yard. Maybe you take a shot here, thinking maybe on fourth we can push forward, pick it up. They're just going to try to get it right here.
Tush-push formation. Brown trying to sneak. He didn't get much. In fact, he might have gone backwards. FAU was all over it.
It didn't, I don't know, it didn't seem like a very vigorous, rush forward. Especially with his running style, you would think. You see how he hesitated and you never saw him kind of really just push, kind of drive forward, and now they're in that fourth.
4th and 1. Flag is out.
Delay of game. Defense. Disconcerting signals. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
This is a new emphasis in college football. Disconcerting signals. You can't simulate the cadence or move in unison, clap, to try and draw the offense to go.
Florida Atlantic just gave him a first, because that was interesting. They went, as you mentioned, with the tush-push, didn't get it. Then they were going to turn a 4th and 1. They were 4th and 5, but putting Brown back into shotgun. All that for naught, though, as Florida Atlantic gave him a free first.
See if USF can take advantage. Going to the end zone, wide open. The tight end, Jonathan Eccles. 4 of his 7 career catches for touchdowns.
Eccles is going to be off to his right. It's like he's going to try to block, and he's going to break off, as most of the routes are underneath. He slips behind the defense. See right there, the short pass underneath the number 6. The defense bites up on that. Eccles keeps working upfield, and touted prospect coming out of IMG.
Without the presence of Chaz Nimrod, South Florida's coaches said the running backs and the tight ends would be more involved in the pass game. Eccles with a TD catch. USF up 2 scores.
every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Beautiful night in Tampa. Florida Atlantic coming from Boca Raton on the opposite coast. South Florida is giving Zach Kitley's team some serious fits, specifically Byron Brown.
Yeah, his ability as a runner to keep plays alive, escape trouble, and then it's not just his rushing ability, but that's kind of really what is putting the defense in conflict, and then his ability also to make plays as a passer, as we saw there, finishing that drive with the pass to Eccles. We've seen it now, 2 touchdown drives. One, he did it rushing in it with his legs. The next drive, using his arm.
On track for very similar numbers that he had 2 years ago. One of the great seasons in program history. Before breaking his leg last year, little pooch kick, and picked up. Oh, what a play! Jaquan Smith, the track star, ran right to it. And how perfect was that from Chase Leon?
Yeah, just beautifully executed. Putting it up there, to saw something on film that there was gonna be some space there, some green, and Leon put it right where he needed to use it. And as you
Rolling
mentioned,
on the field is a recovery by the
Smith is the
kicking
speedster.
team. First down.
You're gonna see that, all that real estate right there. Smith just used it, great job. He's a receiver full time and using those ball skills to be able to snatch that ball out of the air. Wow, great special teams play. He should be pumped. That was a beautifully kicked ball, put it right where he needed to do. Nicely executed special teams play.
Chase Leon, the punter, comes in and drops that. The FCS transfer from Lamar, and right to the special team specialist, Jaquan Smith.
And we'll see here, kind of like a turnover, basically this big special teams play, if they take a shot again right here. But this feels like, we were just talking during the break for Florida Atlantic coming out on offense, it felt like a big drive. Now for them defensively to try to get a stop or hold them to a field goal. It's early in this game, but it still feels like a big drive.
Sam Franklin's first carry of the night. Questionable with a toe injury coming in. He might be limited, but still expected to play throughout.
Yeah, he went out in the third quarter a week ago.
Oklahoma transfer has brought the biggest punch besides Brown on the ground. 2 carries for him to set up third and medium. This has been the problem for FAU, getting off the field. Brown slipping away. Brown has space again. Brown going for the corner of the end zone. The angle cut off. He is unstoppable on third downs tonight.
Yeah, we just see it. They're going to bring pressure. Franklin's able to get a piece of the free rusher, and it creates a lane for Brown to be able to tuck it and go. And again, just seeing, you think you got him and how dangerous he is to keep this drive alive.
Franklin. Oh, still on his feet and does dive past the 5-yard line. Set up second and short.
We're just seeing how just back-breaking Brown can be if you're a defensive player.
Right back on the ball. Fake the motion. Franklin down at the 2. All set up by the onside kick after the touchdown.
Well, if he's not 100% talking about number 4, Franklin, he sure looks close. He's running hard.
Trying to reward the running back, and he's short. It'll be 4th and goal. No doubt that USF's going for it, and they bring in their big personnel package. Keep an eye on Cole Skinner. Did run for a touchdown last week, correct?
Yeah, 40 Merrifield, their defensive tackle, he is in there as well. Now, I think it'll be interesting too, maybe if they change it up a little bit, give it to Merrifield, number 40.
Second charge timeout, South Florida.
And Alex Golish will talk it over before the
Media
4th down play.
timeout.
USF looks like they're going for it to take command early against FAU. Jefferson's flight school. Plus, we're in Dallas for an NFC East showdown between Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. And you got Must, Randy's catches of the week. Great to see Randy back. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. 4th and goal, USF jumbo package. It is Skinner again. Second straight week. The backup right guard runs for a touchdown. Thick 6 2.0.
Well, we asked the OC, Joe Gordon, about this play yesterday, and he said he's quick for his size. Quick and powerful. He's now becoming a rushing force for them. Just pushing his way in the end zone. You know the other offensive lineman. Whoa, that almost came out. Oh. Showing the ball skills there. Great concentration by the big man.
That was almost disaster.
He was so calm at first, I didn't even recognize it. He just scooped it right back in.
What a couple weeks for him, huh? Started with the onside kick. USF goes right down to the half-yard line. Skinner's second touchdown in as many weeks. And South Florida is cruising in the first half. What a decision by Alex Golesh to go for this, though.
Yeah, being aggressive, seeing something on film, attacking it on special teams to steal a possession, get the offense back on the field, and then it was 4th down and 4th and a long one. Decided to go back to the big man, Skinner. As you mentioned, Jack, that could have turned really bad, but staying cool, calm, and collected. The big man hauled it back in and punched it in.
Every big fella dreams of this. He's done it twice.
Yeah. Somewhere. I remember just being a kid and watching William the Refrigerator Perry pushing it across the goal line, and one of his disciples many years later, a big man getting a chance to do it. I wonder tomorrow in meetings if he walks in a running back room.
He should.
Where's my seat?
They're going to be doing Oklahoma drill. He's going to take the ball. Suwagi kicks off. So we talked about FAU having a critical drive coming up before the onside kick. It is even more paramount for them to get some points now.
Yeah, last drive you could have debated how important it was. Now I think you can get, this is a crucial drive to put points on the board. And I know you're looking at the clock and you're thinking there's a lot of football to play. We've seen the way South Florida can move. The points that they put on the board the last few weeks, you cannot let the gap between you and them on the scoreboard get too big. The Owls have got to respond here.
Make the reverse. That was blown up from the beginning, and Veldkamp just throws it away. Intended for Jamari Sands. Nothing going on the trickery. South Florida on track to do what it's been doing. The floodgates have opened since their loss to Miami.
Yeah, and that number again is why this drive, even though it's still the first half, not even about midway the second quarter, but it's important for Florida Atlantic to put some points on the board here.
Maybe take some time too to slow the game down a little bit. And penalties will not help.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Daughtry Richardson, the only returning starter on the offensive line. False starts, holding penalties, a big problem for this group all year. Bottom 25 in the country in those two penalties combined. And that was out of the reach. Incomplete, intended for Brandon Hoke.
And again, you saw pressure from Mac Harris, number 24. This is a Florida Atlantic team, basically because they get rid of the football quick, have not gotten a lot of pressure on the quarterback here early. Tart Orlando able to kind of dial up some looks to be able to get a defender in there on a free shot.
Third and 15, Veldkamp chucks it over to Sands. Two defenders there, and Schuler officially sends him down.
Jarvis Lee as well also there. First defender there to make them slow down, as you mentioned there. Schuler, who had the scoop and score a week ago, make that play. And we talked about how important that drive. And, well, thanks to the penalty, 3 out.
Zach Kitley just looks distraught right now. Isaac deep, Lupo. That goes off Isaac, ball's loose. Chance for FAU. And it's South Florida ball. That was dangerously close to a game-changing play. Isaac a little lackadaisical over there on the sideline.
The ruling on the field is the receiver was out of bounds when he touched the ball. The ball's out of bounds. First down, South Florida.
And saved by kind of a unawareness of where he was on the field. That worked out, and that was a break that the Owls really needed. And they say it's a game of inches. Oh, you see that left foot right out of bounds as he touches it.
Recovered by FAU, but Isaac standing on that out of bounds line. Ball's dead there. And he'll learn the easy way this time. And Brown goes right in front of Neptune. That's where Brown can get a little bit outside of himself at times.
Yeah, he's actually pretty accurate, but if you watch him, his mechanics, a lot of times his feet aren't always set. He's got a really wide base, throws kind of sidearm. A lot of it's unorthodox, but it kind of, when you put it in a total package, it works for him. He's such a playmaker.
Davenport dashing ahead, almost broke through the second level, third and medium. Tackled by Stolsky.
A little bit of a counter look there. Again, very explosive offense, a lot of points. But as you mentioned a little bit earlier, Jack, running the football, whether it's through the backs or Brown, so important to this offense. So many offenses want to establish that run.
Rumbled for over 400 yards against Charlotte a couple of weeks ago. Third down. That is behind Neptune. First time that South Florida's going to have to punt if they do punt here. And they will.
And that's the first time tonight we've really kind of just seen him offensively a little bit disjointed there.
So Chase Leon, who had the onside kick to perfection, will punt it away with Easton Messer deep. He's averaging 17 yards a return. Very dangerous. Line drive, Messer. Trying to get to the edge. Messer with another big return. Near midfield. And FAU set up very well. Next stop on the F1 schedule is the U.S. Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Sunday afternoon, 3 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Our pre-race coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern. Watch Drive to Survive if you haven't yet. It's awesome. Drive to Survive, I think that's perfect for FAU here. Got to get up with some points. Sands, screen, dodging inside, and dancing just across midfield. Nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, again, kind of a quick screen out there, extension of the run game, but I think the key thing for them in this drive, not only coming away with points, but no self-inflicted wounds on this. They've got to just play clean, play smart, let their offense go.
Sands twirling, and there was no room to go forward. Schuler sticks him. Jalen Schuler has been a ball magnet, like you mentioned, coming off an incredible week at North Texas. 3rd and 5.
Yeah, got some help from Tavion Mitchell as well, the first one in there.
Design run for Veltkamp and tackled right around the line of scrimmage. Trayvon Mitchell there again.
And Mitchell's been really disruptive, and a lot of times you may ask, what do you do here with Florida Atlantic? I think you know what they're going to do, even without the score the way it is.
Second, 4th down try. It is an out to the sideline. Wasim picks up a big one.
Wasim knowing where he needs to get, right outside the marker. Quick, accurate throw.
Fake it, going long, set up beautifully, and taking the hit, making the catch, Michael Kirch. Tavin Ward delivered a big blow, but Kirch held on, and now he's down. Also a USF player down behind Kirch. Jacob Merrifield down for the Bulls. And Kirch is up pretty quick. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. But Todd Orlando is very complimentary of the way that Zach Kitley sets up plays in his offense. With that fake to the outside and the short pass, they were able to get Kirch going deep. As they still attend to Merrifield.
Merrifield, who attended Florida, was a captain at Florida Atlantic.
Yep.
Prior to coming here at South Florida.
First time facing his old team. He was also in on that jumbo goal line package alongside Skinner.
Good to see him get out. He plays hard. I know watching the game a week ago, we actually left the game twice with injuries during that game, and both times wound up returning. Hopefully we'll see him again tonight as well.
Fortunately for Alex Golish's group, the defense has largely stayed healthy this year. A couple of injuries to key offensive players. Nimrod out, along with Norton, the running back. Pickup of 18 to set up this first down. Now in the USF red zone. Sands trying to get the edge, a stiff arm, and wrestled down. He was lassoed by the safety, Fred Gaskin.
Yeah, good effort by Gaskin. Gaskin was actually past the play, got off the block, retreated, made that tackle.
Back to tempo for the Owls. Beltcamp and behind the crosser. Intended for Wasim.
Even with the quick throws here, South Florida tonight's been doing a nice job quickly getting back there, getting some pressure, disrupting some things. Really been more disruptive than a lot of other defenses have been able to be against this offense at times with the pace that they move and the quick throws.
Beltcamp makes a couple of checks. Play clock down to 5. On third down, near the pylon, almost picked. Did he get his feet in? No. Gaskin was all over it, and it's incomplete.
Working, it looked like he got a little bit of a tug there. You see how Zero, the receiver, almost comes to a jolting stop?
Do you think he was trying to sell it, maybe?
It looked like he did get pulled. You know, listen, no flag, great play there by number 5, enforcing a field goal.
Second field goal try for Garrison Smith, who hit from 45 on his first one. Going the opposite direction and wide right. Just like Grammatica this direction, wide right. And FAU, on a drive they desperately needed points, come up empty again.
Yeah, that battleship in that end zone must be like haunted or something. Everything's going right, coming back in.
The Black Pearl is menacing.
Yes. They're able to drive the ball. The Owls just unable to finish, and most importantly, put points on the board.
I mean, if they get a touchdown there, it's 21-10, under 6 minutes left. You feel pretty good about where you're at.
Again, now this Owls defense needs to respond again. They're able to do so last drive, get this Bulls offense off the field.
Haven't been able to most of the day. Massive disparity, and Brown is actually handled. Did get a couple extra yards, mostly handled for the first time tonight.
He's so fun to watch. It's got to be just nerve-wracking for Alex Golish and the rest of his offensive staff to watch him run. But as a fan, it's just fun because he's so physical and tough.
It's Isaac running this time. And dragged down by Jaden Sweeney, the safety for the Owls.
This Florida Atlantic defense doing their job, forcing this offense in a 3rd and long.
Yeah, we'll see if this is the second straight 3 and out that they can force with 5 minutes to go in the half. Brown's been a nightmare on 3rd down. Crossing route, nothing there. Jaquan Smith met by 2 defenders. 2 straight 3 and outs, and FAU will have another chance to carve into the lead.
Yeah, even if it was complete, there were 2 defenders there ready to make that tackle. And this Owls defense doing their job, responding, helping their offense out. 2 series in a row, getting this Bulls offense off the field quickly. You mentioned we saw a nice return last time at Messer, and it kind of feels like at some point Florida Atlantic is going to need to make a play, either a turnover on defense or a special teams play in a return.
A wobbly short punt. And Messer will field it. Able to pick up positive yardage, dances outside again. This guy's unbelievable. Down the sideline, he stayed in! Messer all the way! There is a flag. As of now, a 67-yard touchdown.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, return team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
They can't catch a break.
We were just saying how they needed to make a play outside of their offense, and Messer was willing to deliver that with the return. And then a legal blindside block and just negates that play.
Messer with a huge return on his first one, almost his first career return for a touchdown. But the blindside block wipes it out. They're still at the 45. And with FAU getting the ball to start the second half, they get points here. 21-10, get the ball to start the second half. They are right in it on the road.
Yeah, but you got to just shake off what you thought was a momentum type swing there to get you really back in this game. And 1 yard gain on first, so they got to shake that off. Again, tonight, really more, South Florida has been tough to contend with, but Florida Atlantic has not helped themselves at all in this first half.
Jacob Merrifield subs back into the game. He was down with injury several minutes ago. Not much there for Sands. FAU has had trouble running the ball all season, and it continues tonight against South Florida.
Yeah. Plus the South Florida defense all year really been active, swarming to the ball, a lot of defenders. Defense coordinator Todd Orlando really kind of credits their effort running to the ball for why they've been able to create so many turnovers on the year.
Everybody was moving. Who moved first? Or was there a timeout? It looked
Prior
like
to the
Golish.
snap or any fouls, final charge timeout, South Florida.
Alex Golish wanted to use his final timeout, and he got it.
30-second timeout.
There was just a lot of, they were having trouble getting lined up, and at the last second, Merrifield ran off the field. South Florida all out of sorts there defensively.
So we were trying to look back and see if there was a good look at the blindside block.
And don't see a clear one. A big call though.
Wiped away the touchdown on the return from Messer. Alex Golish getting the crowd fired up for third down. Feldkamp right up the middle to Henry. A huge pickup with just over 3 to go in the first half.
Yeah, big pickup because South Florida on that play actually dropped 9 back into coverage, only brought 2. Henry able to find a soft spot there.
Now the Owls can go tempo, pressure, influence the throw from Feldkamp. And multiple people tangled up. Also got a flag around the line to gain on the far sideline.
Defense, number 1. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Ben Knox, the 6th-year senior backup corner, called for holding.
Yeah, defensive penalty, but they did get a shot there on Feldkamp.
Something that Todd Orlando wanted to do early in the game, make him feel some of that pressure. And think about it.
And I think they've been successful in that early on in getting some pressure, getting some touches on Beltcamp, not allow him just to kind of cleanly pass the ball all night long.
Todd Orlando's defense is known for those pressures, even the false pressures. Great catch for Wasim, but he's ripped down by the jersey. Deshaun Rucker on the tackle. Second and 8. Beltcamp scooting up the middle, got a block, and the 6'6" body's ripped down at the shoes by Schuler.
Yeah, nice job by Schuler there, playing off the block, making the tackle.
Him and Mac Harris complement each other so well. That linebacker spot. Bit of a false start there, not called. Wasim the catch, weaving through traffic. Still going right around the 22, which is what he needed. And we have reached the 2-minute timeout. Appears to be short.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
It'll be 4th and inches for Florida Atlantic when we come back. Byram Brown on the ground has been the USF offense so far tonight, leading them to an 18-point lead. But Florida Atlantic has a great chance here on 4th and inches and getting the ball to start the second half to change the game. It's a false start. Again, another costly penalty.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Okino King.
The right guard's going to lean back. There he goes. And just we talked about not hurting it. All they needed to do, Jack, was double their rushing yards to get a first down. Go from 1 to 2. And then when this drive started, they just needed to not hurt themselves. And not surprisingly, they're going to still go for it. But much different scenario here now.
So many big penalties to wipe away opportunity for FAU tonight. Can they overcome it? 4th and 6. And they got it with Platt. That was on point from Veldkamp.
Just quick kind of speed out there from Platt. He knows exactly where he wants to go to the ball. Able to create the separation. Well thrown ball there. Veldkamp keep this drive alive.
FAU tried to go super duper quick tempo. I don't even know if the chains were set.
The officials were not in position after the substitution. Please reset the game clock to 1:55. It will start on my side. It will start on the snap. It will start on the snap.
They are just outside of the red zone, but inside of 2 minutes,
Correction,
clock will
1:54.
stop to move the chains.
There's fast and too fast. They were too fast.
Yeah.
1:54, please.
2 fastest tempos in the nation going at it tonight. Penalties have killed FAU.
Thank you.
South Florida with a big onside kick. And Byron Brown running the ball as the Bulls in position to win their 4th straight. On 1st down, Veldkamp nearly slipped and he's sacked. Jacob Merrifield went out with injury momentarily earlier, but he brings down Veldkamp from behind.
Talked about it. Thought Orlando's done a really nice job. This defense done a really nice job of still getting pressure on Veldkamp. And there, the defensive ends get upfield, force him to step up in the pocket, and the former Owl able to finish the play.
Not that he's facing many of his same teammates, pretty much a brand new team, but still, gotta feel good. See that other logo go down. Loss of 2. Veldkamp stumbling again. Little shovel pass, incomplete. Oh no, did Sands catch it? He did make the catch for positive yardage. Still 3rd and long.
And Veldkamp on the move just kind of throws it out there, and Sands able to still make that catch. But again, that USF defense is really flying around, and you see all the green jerseys there to make the stop.
Well within field goal range, under a minute to go. FAU would love to not have USF get the ball back with any time.
They went from still sitting right outside the red zone, though.
Play clock under 5. Veldkamp has a connection just before the 10. Clock is winding, 22 seconds. Platt with another critical catch. FAU's got all of its timeouts here. Might as well use one now.
First charge timeout, Florida Atlantic. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 18 seconds. 1-8.
18 seconds left and another big 4th down for Zach Kipley's team. So for 20 years, All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's Athletic Scholarship Fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to All-State. No thought of a field goal here, you would imagine, for Zach Kipley.
Not with the margin and score, not with this offense. I think there's any discussion about that. I think the first thing he's taking huddle is nobody jump off sides.
Right.
Everybody be aligned properly. Let's not hurt ourselves, and let's go pick up this 1st down.
It will be louder with the KFC bucket heads on this side of the field. Right in the grill of Caden Veldkamp. In the shotgun on 4th and 1. Oh my goodness.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
5 false starts tonight.
I don't know if it took my suggestion or not to mention an auto. Oh, just crushing. It's just Florida Atlantic just continuing to hurt themselves. Not that they can't, not that this offense is not capable of picking it up, but he almost went from a sure thing and now making it much more difficult to pick up a much needed 4th down and try to end this half on some positive momentum.
Instead of taking the field goal, 4th and 6, they're going for it. Out of the backfield, Sands makes one miss. Flag is in. First down for now.
There's no foul for offense, pass interference. The pass was caught behind the line of scrimmage. It's first down.
That would have fit perfectly with the theme for FAU, but it's wiped away.
Looking downfield again, they're going to throw Sands behind a line of scrimmage. Now see, there was a pick there on the inside. You could just outside of the screen. But again, it was officials conferring, saying that pass was caught behind the line of scrimmage, allowing them to maintain that needed possession.
The ruling that the pass was touched behind the line of scrimmage is under further review.
It was really close.
Yeah.
Really close. And Alex Golish wants them to take a look. So it still might be another critical penalty on the Owls on 4th down.
So they're at the 16, and he catches it right at the 16. It's
Will there be a good enough angle to overturn the call?
I mean, you can argue by that look. It was probably maybe just past, but it was, I don't know if there's enough there to say that it was clearly past the line of scrimmage. Again, right just past the 16. Sands catches it. I think they're in a position, I think, where we're looking at it upheld here.
My gut says he was beyond it by a hair, but I don't think there's enough to overturn
with you,
it.
but yeah, I kind of, you get the feeling, but I don't know if there's anything there to definitively say that.
Again, ruled on the field that it was caught behind the line of scrimmage. So it will be 4th and a mile if they do reverse this. Heck of a play call by Zach Kitley, though.
Yeah, tough to kind of tell there as well. He's clearly on the other side of the 15.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It will be first down at the 8.5. The clock will start on the snap.
Upheld, no evidence to overturn it. So 1st and goal for FAU, 2 timeouts remaining. They get the ball to start the second half.
Needed break there for the Owls.
Their defense has given them this chance.
Yes.
Couple of stops in a row.
Now the offense needs to do its part and finish.
They can run the ball here. Shields Dutton motions out. Beltcamp design run. USF's all over it. Mac Harris drilled Beltcamp. And the second timeout used by the Owls now with 9 seconds left.
Second charge timeout, Florida Atlantic. 30-second timeout.
I tried to catch him off guard. You don't really think of Beltcamp as being a runner. On the empty look, tried to just kind of lead him in South Florida, as you mentioned, giving no room. The only green that he saw was the opposite team's jersey.
So you got 1 timeout left to work with here. 9 seconds from the 10. Based on what you've seen from FAU's offense, what do you like in this situation for Zach Kitley's team?
You know, I think here, you know, one player they haven't found much outside of special teams is Messer. I think here, he's your consistent player. I think you got to find a way here to get him the football. Now, down here, obviously, he's not your tallest target, just about 6 foot. But he is quick. And again, this is a relationship that goes all the way back to their time in Western Kentucky. There's a synergy there.
Messer on the left side. Beltcamp with 5 seconds. Got to throw it. It's loose. Not blown dead yet. We'll see. For now, USF rolling towards the end zone. Rico Watson has it. Don't celebrate too early now. Touchdown Bulls. They'll take a look. trained to let the play go, they will look at it. And there could be time left for
Ruling
FAU.
on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense for a touchdown.
His hand was definitely coming forward. What's going to be the key was did he
The
have
ruling on the
control
field
of
of
the
a fumble
football
is under
as
further
it was
review.
coming forward? He's going to get the pressure flushed out of the pocket. He tries to square up.
Is that enough control?
It looked like, again, it's not if the arm's coming forward. It's possession of the hand. And there you go. Looked like he's got to control it just as he's hit.
Ira Singleton hit him.
Yeah. He squares up. He's got control. He's got control. The ball is knocked loose as the hand is coming forward.
Now it's ruled a fumble on the field, so there has to be clear evidence to overturn it. I think that's enough, don't you?
I mean, it's here. He clearly has control as he's coming forward, but I think before he even kind of begins to complete that motion, Singleton knocks it loose. Oh, the replay officials right there were challenged a few seconds ago on that forward pass. This is a tough one.
Oh yeah, it's really tight. They're looking at the clock as well. And now everyone's scrambling back to the other end of the field. This is going to be overturned.
After review, the passer's hand was coming forward. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be third down with 3 seconds. Please put 3 seconds on the game clock. It will start on the snap.
As you mentioned, Jack, bang, bang like that, they're going to let it play out. But I think it's right. He certainly had control as he was coming forward. It's a great effort there from Singleton, but defense still coming up with a stop. Forced his field goal attempt. See if the curse of the pirate ship looms large again.
Nobody's hit going this way yet. Grammatica and Smith both missed wide right from the left hash. Two for three. Curse broken. FAU does climb within 2 scores at halftime.
That is
after
the end
dramatic
of the second quarter.
overturn of the call. And they'll get the ball to start the second half. USF on track for a college football playoff berth. Going for their 4th straight win and up by 15 at the break. College Football Primetime is presented by Dr. Pepper. You're watching The American on ESPN. More people are going to be heading to Tampa as we climb later in the season. Beautiful weather just outside of downtown at Raymond James Stadium. 21-6 as we get ready to start the third quarter. South Florida going for a fourth straight win, trying to keep their hopes of a college football playoff berth alive. Jack Kaiser alongside Craig Hobart. Catch your breath over the break?
Yeah, I mean, South Florida came out looking like a team in pole position for one of those playoff spots.
Yeah, certainly did. Went up 21-3. FAU did establish a little bit of momentum late, though.
And then they did everything they could to try to take it away from themselves. Florida Atlantic, obviously South Florida is always tough to deal with, but Florida Atlantic at times was their own worst enemy as well.
Yeah, 6 big penalties in that first half. Critical situations. South Florida, especially early in the first quarter, able to take advantage.
Yeah, well, Byron Brown, their quarterback, he is really what makes his offense go there, getting them on the board, keeping that himself, and then here he would hit their former 4-star tight end out of IMG, Jonathan Eckel, for a score. And then a big play on special teams to steal a possession, that beautiful kick, and then Jaquan Smith, the speedster, would be able to bring it in. And then ultimately Cole Skinner, the big man, the backup guard, would go in there, and he almost lost the handle, but he found it, punched it.
Lightning strikes twice for Skinner. Second straight week with a rushing touchdown for the backup guard. 5 false starts. They all seem to come in critical third, fourth down situations for Florida Atlantic. They also had an illegal blindside block that wiped away a 67-yard punt return for a touchdown. Not able to get into the end zone in the first half, and virtually no run game.
And I was crushing too, because we never could find a clear indicator of what that blindside block was, but nonetheless pivotal because it took points off the board. Florida Atlantic, who's been explosive at times, just, held really in check in that first half.
FAU will get the ball first. A field goal as the first half expired. Let's see what one of the best passing offenses in the country can do on their first drive of the second half. Virtually nothing downfield, though, despite 27 pass attempts for Caden Beltkamp.
Oh, what's interesting, you're right, they did, but South Florida did a really good job of creating pressure on Beltkamp, and that makes it tough to get the ball downfield as well. And you see sandwich between those 2 field goals, a couple of punts, and a missed field goal opportunity. Each team with one of those in the first half.
Yep. Both towards the left end zone. Here come the Owls. Beltkamp finding Sands, make it Shields Dutton coming out of the backfield, and inaccurate throw with the pressure.
Yeah, Mac Harris in there doing a nice job kind of getting in that throwing lane. That's what you got to do sometimes with an offense like this. May not get to the quarterback, kind of get your hands up.
Harris and Schuler were all over the place, the star linebackers for USF in the first half. 2nd and 10. Another pass out of the backfield. Shields Dutton makes the catch, stays on his feet in bounds, and tiptoes for a first down. Gain of 18.
That player was really active for them a week ago in their win over UAB, but be quiet, but a nice gain there.
Had 3 touchdowns last week and wrapped up in the backfield by Rico Watson. He's one of the B backers. They call him business backers, a hybrid defensive end linebacker in Todd Orlando's defense.
And the players there really the most disruptive, but the nice play there. Ira Singleton also plays that position at a big play right for the end of the half as well.
Watson had a fumble return for a touchdown wiped away. Beltkamp up the gut. Henry spinning for a first down. And nailed by Jarvis Lee, but enough to move the chains.
Belkamp standing in there. He's going to take a hit again, but see the quickness and the accuracy.
FAU getting into its tempo now. Long throw to the sideline. Messer hauls it in. Roommate to roommate. FAU is driving quick.
He's been quiet tonight, trying to find that window between three defenders. Foot is down, and whoa, beautiful throw. Nice job there by Messer. He was surrounded by defenders. Knew he was going to take a shot, but that was a throw there from Belkamp.
His 6th catch, leading the nation at 9 catches a game. More explosive plays in the pass game to start the second half for FAU. First down, Belkamp kept it. Now he'll scramble. Belkamp striding ahead and sliding. This is a really impressive drive.
Yeah, a lot of window dressing there, but nice job there. South Florida on the edges, the corners, staying with their responsibility.
And Merrifield's down for the 2nd time this game. So Merrifield's able to come back once again. Step aside. Injured bull Jacob Merrifield did walk off the field and went into the medical tent. FAU back to action, first drive of the second half. Todd Orlando's defense on the ropes with FAU inside of the red zone. Trying to punch it into the end zone for the first time this game. Another quick pass, it's a double pass. Looking end zone for Kurtz. Flags out. South Florida had it covered, but Jarvis Lee got too aggressive.
Pass interference. Defense, number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, Lee was there. I mean, he didn't really bite. He was in position, and as you mentioned, I got aggressive. Almost felt like he panicked a little bit. They had it covered. Tried to get the ball out the edge and slip the tight end down the field. And he's there, and he just keeps pushing on him. Just had to run with him.
Easton Messer threw a touchdown last week as a wide receiver. Almost pulled off another with Dom Henry. Best chance to score a touchdown today for FAU. First drive of the second half. Oh, shovel pass controlled, and he's in. Michael Kirch with a heck of a catch, and FAU's in this ball game.
And he's going to try to pitch. You see the tight end coming across the formation, and then the pressure up almost kind of knocked that ball loose, and kind of like for Cole Skinner going in, not down on this end. Wasn't clean, but kind of doing a nice job of kind of finding that handle, getting it in, and big way to respond here for the Owls coming out here in the second half.
His third touchdown of the year. This to make it a one-score game. Oh, the lights started to go off when he kicked it. They jumped the gun. If he missed it, I wonder if they would have given him a redo.
Kick the lights out.
Dimmed him a little quick. Sun hasn't set on this game, 21-13.
College football playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the national championship January 19th on ESPN.
Our current college football rankings brought to us by Capital One. Miami goes down last night here in South Florida. Ole Miss loses a barn burner to Georgia. Texas Tech goes down to Arizona State.
That's a lot of L's in the top 10.
LSU too at Vandy. Not to mention Memphis. Big news in the American.
What that told me is change is coming.
And hey, South Florida's not out of the woods here yet. Ranked 19th in the country. They'll start out at the 25 as Isaac takes a knee. Their first drive of the second half, but FAU has scored 10 unanswered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a South Florida offense that really was in a strong rhythm coming out early, and then their last two drives not only didn't net any points, were both 3 and outs. So can they find kind of that juice again and see how much they lean on Brown and his legs on this drive to kind of get things kind of restarted?
That's what worked for him in the first half. Little speed option, and Brown making the pitch, read beautifully as a first down.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, you know what, we're kind of not really hitting on all cylinders. Keep the ball in number 17's hands as much as you can.
FAU defensive coordinator Brett Dewhurst knows critical situations, Brown's going to keep it. He'll do it again. Little shimmy shake, and Skolsky is all over it. Tyler Stolsky, the transfer from Minnesota, Midwest kid, trading snow for sun, going south.
Yeah, doing a nice job staying home, and always tough task of tackling Brown in space.
Sam Franklin nearly broke it loose and tackled by Dylan Williams, the safety.
A nice job there by Williams, just making that tackle, because if he doesn't, he'd probably taken off.
Leading tackler in the secondary makes it 3rd and 3. Brown's got some time. Time running out. Brown can't get away this time. Picked up an early first down. South Florida will have to punt again. Was Brown down when he threw it?
Trying to reverse course, and tough to tell from that angle. Looked like he may have still been up.
Flag thrown, officials pointing like this may be intentional grounding. If he wasn't down.
The ruling on the field was a pass. Number 11 was in the area. There's no flag for intentional grounding. It's 4th down.
There you go.
He's under pressure. It's like he fully extends before he throws that and gets rid of it just before that right knee goes down. And he was clearly outside the pocket. It was just a matter if it got back to the line of scrimmage. They're saying there was a receiver there. But the headline here is this Owls defense again.
After an expedited review, the quarterback's knee was down at the 32-yard line. It's 4th down. The clock will start on my signal.
Like he had.
I was going to say, I thought his kneecap was down.
See, we're going to watch this. Really, it's going to be that right knee. Is it? Look, I kind of think he got rid of it. It's kind of simultaneous. It's tough to tell from that, but nonetheless, they call him down. Again, the headline is this Owls defense gets his South Florida offense off the field in a hurry.
3 straight stops. They're just going to punt it away from Easton Messer after what he showed first couple punt returns. Had a 67-yarder for a touchdown wiped away in the first half. FAU back to work. Saturday, the SEC on ABC College Football Top 15 triple header. We'll have number 5 Ole Miss, number 14 Oklahoma. Ole Miss trying to bounce back. That's at noon Eastern. Then 6th ranked Alabama squaring off against South Carolina. We'll cap today with 10th ranked LSU hosting Texas A&M. Tigers fall at Vandy today. That's in Death Valley. Each game also available on the all-new ESPN app. Florida Atlantic within 1 score. They've got the ball. Veldkamp to throw. Pressure in the pocket. Leans forward to get some of it back. It is a sack to start the drive.
You mentioned they really haven't tried to push the ball downfield much. Here they do. And just that South Florida defense doing, again, a nice job of creating pressure. Putting them behind the chains there on first down. But just even coming into this drive, Florida Atlantic to be 1 score down after really momentum seemed to be squarely in the Bulls' favor early in that second quarter.
It was 21-3. FAU couldn't move the ball, couldn't get out of their own way. Here they are. Chance to tie or pull within 1. Pass deflected. Fortunate that wasn't picked. USF has been a turnover machine the last couple of weeks.
And doing a nice job just getting pressure, and again, can't get there, get your hand up. It's a great job there defensively.
Josh Seliscar, Texas A&M transfer with the deflection.
South Florida not showing pressure here in this 3rd and long.
Dropping 9. Veldkamp throwing on the run. He had a man that might have been tipped.
Yeah,
Henry was open.
I think it might have been Schuler, maybe. See, as he's going to step up, yeah, Schuler doing a great job getting in that passing lane, getting his hand up. That front 7 twice on that drive. Changing a play and getting their hand up.
Christian Neptune deep to receive for USF. The Bulls so happy they got Schuler back. Weren't sure if they would, but the NCAA ruling that JUCO players getting an extra year of eligibility. So here's Neptune dancing out. So Schuler comes back to join Mac Harris leading the South Florida defense. They do get a stop after the Owls establish momentum. Now South Florida's got to figure out the offense because that has completely stalled.
Yeah, or the other side of that coin is this Florida Atlantic defense has just stepped up the last 3 series. They got to now find a way to steal a possession, get a turnover. 0 interceptions on the year, only 2 fumble recoveries by that defense. And we were talking with Brett Dewar, and sometimes you're just waiting for that dam to kind of burst. They've had opportunities, just not been able to finish. They've been getting this Bulls offense off the field, but can they also create a turnover?
Feels like they're due for a break at some point. Brown will throw it. Stepping in, down the sideline. Singleton pulls it in.
Well, you want to light a fire, throw it into double coverage and have your receiver go up and get it. Talking about, I thought that might have been the chance there, Jack, for that defense to get that interception.
Looked like a pick from the start. And Davenport's ripped down. Baby Calvin Johnson going up.
Just in between 2 defenders. Singleton going up, attacking the football, making the play. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
Number 1 target with Chaz Nimrod out with injury tonight. Spark for a stalled Bulls offense. Davenport, no gain again. The run defense outside of containing Brown has been really good for FAU tonight.
Yeah, that's a big outside of them.
Right. That's the issue. Force 3rd and long. Neptune motioning back. Sprint out to the right. Throwing Neptune's way, incomplete. Brown's accuracy on some of those shorter throws has dipped since the first quarter.
Here, gonna try it out now. He's missed going this way before. And there's a strong wind at the top of the stadium blowing from the kickers right to left. A little bit more subdued kind of down the field, but the wind is still swirling a little bit.
He missed wide right going this direction in the first half. And Grammatica won't make the same mistake again. From one of the most historic kicking families in college football. His dad Martine kicked in this very stadium for the Bucks, and Grammatica puts it through to put South Florida up 2 scores again.
Yeah, he certainly self-corrected there. That was right down the middle. But still, I mean, it was that one big pass, but Florida Atlantic still doing a nice job of forcing a field goal there. It was like they came out, hit that big pass, and they were going to kind of get ramped up again. Stalled a bit, but still, most importantly, getting points, extending it from a 1-score game to 2.
And nothing in the second half, really, since the midway point of the second quarter for South Florida on offense, besides the big Singleton catch. And Caden Melkamp, who's thrown it 34 times already tonight, will try to pull Florida Atlantic back within 1 score. I don't know how his arm's not going to fall off by the end of the year.
3 times he's thrown 49 or more. Heading that way tonight.
42 a game. Return for Platt. Darting left. Can he catch the edge? Tackled just shy of the 30. Owls have won 2 straight. South Florida's won 3 in a row. Zach Hitley's first season trying to rebuild FAU after Tom Herman was let go near the end of last season. You can see the culture and things trending in the right direction.
Absolutely. 1 conference win a year ago. Already has doubled that. Trying to upset a ranked team here, as well as continue to add another conference win.
Helped lay the foundation as an offensive coordinator at Texas Tech last year. Melkamp trying to throw a block as he gives to Shields Dutton. Nothing there.
Sean Rucker getting in there.
Fastest tempo in the country. Back on offense. Flag comes in. Shields Dutton evades 1. Goes ahead. First down for now. We'll check on the flag.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Killing them all night.
And it's going to be out on the edge. That's number 11. You see Harris Jr. trying to get to the edge. He forced Melkamp. You see him kind of grab him around the neck there.
Scarlett Jean
said it's actually been their most consistent blocker.
Right. The transfer from Kaiser University, NAIA program in Florida. He's been really good this year. Set back again for FAU. Another negative play. Xavier Hamilton, the linebacker, deck Jabari Smith.
Yeah, doing a nice job of kind of reading that in-state player in that 2024 class. A high 3-star, doing a nice job reading that screen, getting in there, defeating the block, making a tackle, one-handed.
Backed up in their own territory. What's the aggression level? Melkamp gets it out and tackled near the original line of scrimmage. Shields Dutton. FAU's going to have to punt.
That was a lot of pressure for 3 rushers, really quick.
Florida, one of the top blitzing teams in the country. We wondered how much they would be able to blitz against the tempo. With the long setup for that third down, 3 rushers able to get there on their own.
Did you ever think we'd be doing this game and talking about trading punts?
No, not at all. In the first half, we said record it. We didn't think we'd have this. How about the defenses, though? Stepping up. The NBA season tips off Tuesday night on NBC, and our first doubleheaders Wednesday night on ESPN. ESPN Deportes and the all-new ESPN app. The Knicks host the Cavs at 7 Eastern. Then it's out to Dallas for the highly anticipated regular season debut. Cooper Flag for the Mavs, who hosts Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. NBA tip-off, Ernie, Kenny, Charles, Shaq. That debuts on ESPN at 6 Eastern. Can't wait to see those guys on our air. South Florida fresh off a field goal. Fake it to Neptune. Brown dodging, diving, and a pickup of 5.
Yeah, they've given to Neptune a few times on those motions into the backfield there. Brown pulling it, keeping it himself.
Over 100 rushing yards tonight for Byron Brown, the quarterback. Looking deep again. Down the sideline, Koger fell. No flag came out.
Good first down. Pick up. Use that second down to take a shot. Hit it on that last drive. They were trying to go to the other side to Koger. No go, but here still in the third, manageable.
0 for their last 5 on third down. Singleton top of the screen. Big play threat. Late in the clock for South Florida. Third and medium. Going Singleton's way. Oh, it's caught. That was Neptune. And the freshman on a huge third down picks up a big chunk.
AC, nice job. He's got the step on him and another nice throw by Brown. Talk about his legs. He's made some really nice throws in his second half.
Tempo after the big play. Catch, Isaac split out wide and wrapped up immediately by McGee.
See Neptune, he's the inside receiver, gets that step. He was doing a nice job just keeping a little bit of separation there. Brown put it where his receiver could make the play. He seems to be an emerging star.
No doubt. Isaac found a hole. A pick up of 5 on second down to make it third and medium again. Gavinch Marcelin tackles Isaac darting forward. Tempo to run it. Isaac is short. 4th and 1.
Good job though there by Isaac, still kind of pushing his way through there. Set up this 4th and short. He remains down.
Already an injury in the running back room to Cartavius Norton. Stretchered off against Charlotte. He left in a neck brace. Actually had to leave in an ambulance, but he's doing better now health-wise. Probably won't be back for a while. This time it's Isaac, who is apparently injured for the Bulls. His big moment earlier this year at Florida in the upset win. Grew up in Gainesville. Big catch for 29 yards on the game-winning drive in front of dozens of family and friends at a stadium he dreamed of playing at growing up. And he has been a very valuable back, especially in the receiving game for South Florida this year. Obviously, South Florida's going to go for this. And a 4th and short opportunity. Both teams have been going for it all night. Isaac down, a long time to think about it for both teams. Brown has been almost unstoppable with the ball in his hands. Hard not to let him keep it here, right?
Well, they had a 3rd and 1 where they tried to put him under center, and
that didn't work.
Came up short. You would think, yeah, though. But then again, it's 4th and 1. But I mean, looking at it, it's about a 4th and 1 3/4.
Still working on that lower leg for Isaac. Under 5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. South Florida, especially with Memphis's loss earlier today, best chance out of the group of 5 to make the college football playoff as long as they continue to win. Got to take care of business against a streaking Florida Atlantic team. Memphis came into the day as the favorite at 42% to make the playoff out of the group of 5. South Florida second at 30%. Everybody waiting patiently as they continue to attend to Isaac before this big 4th down. That percentage is definitely going to change. But South Florida does have to go to Memphis next week.
Yeah, and obviously that game, it feels like it loses a little something with that Memphis loss. But for South Florida, Memphis maybe becomes even more dangerous because now,
right,
you know, coming off that loss, they're going to try to right that ship really quickly. And don't forget about Navy as well. Navy's going to be tough because their schedule is really backloaded. And then obviously Tulane, which did get a win today over Army. So South Florida's kind of in the driver's seat, but there's still a lot of tough competition at the top of this American.
Yep, you just went through the prime candidates, top of the American and overall in the group of 5. Franklin now the back for South Florida on 4th and 1 3/4. Brown pulls, throws, trying to catch the edge, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Wyatt Sullivan, the tight end.
They're not going to push it inside. They're going to use a run game. You see Sullivan come across. Singleton kind of working an inside route, creating some traffic to free up Sullivan, and takes it down the edge and converted it more.
Right when you think Florida Atlantic is going to sneak back in this thing, South Florida answers with 10 straight.
Wyatt Sullivan's a tight end. You see Singleton working back inside and getting it away, and allows Wyatt out there on the edge. Wyatt Sullivan, the tight end, and turns up, fights his way into the end zone.
His first catch today, a touchdown. Jaden Swaney was trailing the play for FAU, just could not get around the traffic.
Sullivan does a really nice job, kind of really willing, aggressive blocker. Him and Eccles, number 1, they 2 very different tight ends, but complements each other nicely, and kind of can, as the season continues to wear on, can really just become another productive facet of this offense.
With all the weapons that they have, I mean, obviously they beat Florida already this year and Boise State. Do you see this South Florida team, this offense, as a viable challenger to one of the big dogs in the playoff?
Yeah, well, I mean, once you get to that point, and again, you come through the American, we've talked, there's 4 really strong teams. You get out of this conference, you know, you're fairly battle tested. You know, we'll see how things continue to go for Florida, but still got a Power 4 win underneath your belt. It's a good South Florida team that, yeah, you see him in the first play. You see Byron Brown first round, and you better have your defense ready to play.
No doubt. And Boise State, they ran away with it in the second half, but really handled the Broncos, helped out by 3 fumbles in that game. Humbled at Miami, but a lot of teams have been humbled. Coral Gables this year. Florida's got a big win over Texas. South Florida and Tulane so far have the best wins. Tulane beating Northwestern and Duke early this year. And now it's all conference play the rest of the way. Back to it. And Assad Wasim makes the catch. We're back in a situation now for Florida Atlantic where they need points.
Can they respond? The defense helped them out there. South Florida, after kind of a lull offensively, able to get back in the end zone. Now this Owls offense needs to make some plays.
And a great drive to start the half. Nothing since. Empty set. Beltkamp looking right, and will tuck it and take the loss.
Really been impressed with the ways the Bulls. Again, that was just 4. They put a lot of players on the line. Not sure if you're Florida Atlantic offensive lineman, who's coming, where they're coming from to get there.
Sprinting wide, Beltkamp chucks it short, incomplete for Sands. South Florida's defense has handled this tempo beautifully tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was Mac Harris, has been very active tonight. Chasing down Beltkamp, making them kind of have to throw in stride. Ultimately, a little bit behind the receiver, and third down again. And I think if you're South Florida, you're feeling like, you know what, we can get there as we have tonight, create enough pressure, disrupt things enough with 3, 4 backs, draft the rest of those players into coverage.
Beltkamp over the middle, tight window for Messer. How did he fit that in there?
Yeah, you're right, that was a really tight window. Shots back. You see 3 defenders right in there. Puts it right where his guy can get it.
Beltkamp now chucking it deep over the head of Henry. Sean Rucker going step for step. Even when FAU goes fast, South Florida has not given up anything easy out of that.
One of the things, you know, too, you gotta remember is both of these defenses in the spring and really more so, they're used to facing these offenses. I think South Florida his defense has shown that the other side of the locker room, they're used to moving pretty fast, seeing what it's like.
Messer again to make it 3rd and medium. Again, the spring is really when they go good on good and face that tempo. They did have practice periods of that this week to prepare for the heightened tempo. And Messer was down for a moment. FAU cannot afford to lose him. You said it earlier. I mean, he's got a very quiet 7 catches.
But those came off the board, but we've seen what he could do as a punt returner too.
Yep.
And that's why, I mean, you're right, it's a very kind of subdued 7 catches for 54 yards, but he still is a comfort for the quarterback because of their history and the comfort level, and then he's very big in a return game if they could force South Florida to have to punt again.
So the safety blanket, transfer from Western Kentucky with Beltkamp, not on the field for 3rd and 4. Was that complete? Yes. Another tight window throw to Brandon Hoke this time, the freshman.
Yeah, Hoke out of the outstanding St. Thomas Aquinas program in South Florida. Defender all over, makes the catch.
Beltkamp lofting sideline, incomplete for Hoke. Flag is out in that direction.
There, and you see the defender right there. Hoke doing a nice job. He's a big target.
Defense, number 26. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
FAU's not going to go down easy. Holding penalty sets him up just outside of the 30. Beckett looking deep, end up going short to Kirch, who was tackled after a short gain by James Chenault, a first-year starter and corner out of Orlando. Right back on the ball for 2nd down. Beltkamp had it stripped. Ball loose. FAU there. Beltkamp back at midfield.
Number 5 gets upfield, does a great job knocking that ball loose, using his left hand. That was Fred Gaskin, safety. They're trying to push that pace there. Gaskin coming off the edge, playing a little bit faster.
Another critical mistake. Loss of 21. They'll run it. Shields Dutton to the 40. You're out of field goal range.
Yeah, I mean,
4th and a mile, you have to punt, right?
I mean, that's a really, I mean, if you feel like your punter can change field position, I almost feel like go for it if not, because you're only talking, 20-yard swing. They're going to punt, though. I don't know if Belcam has pooch punt ability there, but it's just you can't kick this in the end zone. If this winds up sailing in the end zone, I'd almost rather see him go for it.
Down 18, approaching the 4th quarter. Windows getting tight for FAU to make a comeback.
Not job accomplished.
Yep, pinned inside of the 10. FAU's defense has to step up now. Well done for Lupo. It's been a fun night so far. South Florida jumped out to a 21-3 lead. FAU cut it to an 8-point game. They had the ball. South Florida has answered with 10 straight as they try to win their 4th straight and go to 6-1.
Talked about the defense that has struggled this year to create turnovers. Got South Florida push back inside their own 10. This is a great opportunity for them to kind of try and change that.
Brown looking deep, going deep, over the middle, and intended for Jaquan Smith. USF was going for a kill shot to end the 3rd quarter.
Trying to hit the speedy receiver a little bit outstretched there, but taking that shot downfield.
Brown's thrown for 174, a couple of touchdowns, run for 103 and a touchdown himself. Franklin back there with him. It is Franklin who is tackled for a loss to end the 3rd quarter. South Florida in control. Florida Atlantic trying to come up with a big 3rd down.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter.
In the 4th. onside kick after South Florida goes up 14-3. Jaquan Smith, the recovery, and they go on to score a touchdown.
Yeah, from the big man, Cole Skinner. Flirting with disaster there, but got her done. And looked like right there they were just kind of, they were in control of the game, and it slipped away. It was that Florida Atlantic defense was able to force a couple of 3-and-outs, but pushed the lead again. Chance to do so more, but facing a 3rd and long.
Backed up deep in their own territory. Brown to start the 4th quarter. Over the middle, he's got his man. Mudia Rubin darting across the field, and South Florida might have a backbreaker here.
And that's the O-line. They gave the receiver and Brown plenty of time as he came all the way from the other side of the field.
Fake it wide. Brown dancing, diving, and a pickup of 3. The raw athleticism just jumps off the screen. We'll give it up this time with Franklin running hard. Not going down easy. He's got the first down.
Yeah, that was really tough running. And Franklin's important. A really successful FCS players you mentioned earlier. Spent a little time at Oklahoma, but he kind of blends what Isaac and Davenport brings.
Yeah, certainly the top overall back with Norton out. Brown wants it all. Open man, sideline. A little underthrown. It's caught. Koger, end zone.
It all starts with the protection, able to kind of go through his reads, a little bit on the throw. Nice job by Koger coming back to it. Changing direction, forces the defender to lose his footing, and then finds the end zone. Out of St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. We've got some exciting young receivers in this stable.
With Chaz Nimrod, the top receiver, out, Jeremiah Koger got his opportunity. A double move to give him his 4th touchdown in the last 3 weeks. latest touchdown for South Florida. We've got a Week 7 Monday Night Football doubleheader coming up. Bucs-Lions at a special start time of 7 Eastern on ESPN and ABC, then Texans-Seahawks on ESPN. Both available on ESPN Deportes and the all-new ESPN app. Coverage kicks off at 3 Eastern with NFL Live at Ford Field, followed by SVP in the Monday night. Countdown crew. Tampa right at the top of the NFL power rankings. They're in basically close games every week, and they cannot stop finding ways to win.
Well, if you drive around Tampa, as I have the last 2 days, a lot of signs to say Champa Bay. And the Buccaneers trying to add to that.
I don't think fans thought they'd be able to break that out very quickly after Tom Brady left. Baker's brought it back. Maybe an American championship on the way for South Florida, too. So Koger off the 60-yard touchdown has given South Florida a 25-point lead. Florida Atlantic had it at 21-13 with the ball. 17 straight for South Florida to all but put away Zach Kitley's team.
This is an offense certainly capable of quick strike, but a South Florida defense that has been menacing and really forcing everything, any success to be kind of short and underneath and have to work down the field.
Beltcamp, look at Henry's way, it's picked. Flag out. You would have to imagine that's on Ben Knox with all the contact. And a flag in the backfield.
There are 2 fouls on the defense. Pass interference. Defense number 1. Penalty is declined. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 15. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, 2 penalties. Denard Flowers called for roughing the passer.
Flowers making the inside charge there. It was kind of more the going low part towards the knees.
And not late, but you're right. Can't go below the knee as they try to protect quarterbacks. Shields Dutton, nothing there. Now, South Florida's defense had given up quite a few points over the last couple of games, and they've responded well against a very capable offense tonight.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with the way this Florida Atlantic offense operates and its quickness. They've still been able to get pressure there and get hands up. Ooh.
Nearly caught, even with the deflection from James Chenault.
But there were 2. There was a defender off the edge, got his hands up, and then Chenault there also getting his hands up. Did a really nice job. You're right, it was still almost a catch, but Chenault going up high, getting those fingertips, just changing the trajectory enough, making it tough for Platt. The South Florida defense against his offense, I think, has played outstanding tonight. Next, me if they could be a contender to upset somebody in the playoffs, his defense continues to play this way. Certainly can.
They'll run it. Shields Dutton. That'll set up 4th and short. No doubt Florida Atlantic's going to go for it. Even with the long drought for the offense, that's when the defense kicked in and made those stops. Very balanced South Florida team this year. Beltcamp had just enough push to get the first down. Their 5th 4th down conversion tonight. And they'll go for it more than anybody in the country on 4th down.
Yeah, but their 3 losses when they've gone for it for 6 times or more on 4th means they were losing.
Yeah, it's not good news.
But even with the conversion of the first down, you need points, you need them quick. South Florida again is making Florida Atlantic have to kind of grind their way down the field.
It feels like South Florida has not been threatened whatsoever by the deep pass tonight.
Now
This is
a Florida Atlantic team that had 12 explosive plays a week ago over UAB. Those have not been there tonight.
Sands sidesteps 2, puts his head down to get 1 or 2. The rebuild of this South Florida defensive line with quite a few transfers. Much more confident in that group this year. 3rd and long. Veldkamp will take a shot. Bit of a tug in the jersey, no call with Ben Knox alongside Henry, and it's 4th.
I love the way, I like the way. There's been some times it seems that secondary is panicking coverage. I thought there Knox did a nice job. He was in position, just ran with them. Well played. 6 or more times went forward on 4th down in those 3 losses. This is number 6 here on a 4th down for Florida Atlantic tonight.
They are 5 for 5. Any prayer of a comeback starts here. Veldkamp had plenty of time. Wasim wide open in the backside. 6 for 6.
Yeah, the Bulls, who have had success tonight getting after and being disruptive. There, that Owls offensive line holds up, allows Veldkamp to come all the way back to the other side. Oh, you mentioned Wasim is wide open.
Veldkamp has run it quite a bit tonight. Flag is out as he was tugged down in the backfield. We expect holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 57. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
DJ Harris coming off the edge, drawing that penalty.
Jacavion Nonart, first-year starter at left tackle. Even saw Jarvis Lee for the South Florida defense talking it up a little bit with Veldkamp after the play.
Yeah, a lot to say. There was less jaw and more dissertation there.
Yeah. Hey, South Florida can talk. They have more than backed that up tonight. Pressure with 4. Deflected and picked. Rico Watson. And the turnover machine continues to roll on for the Bulls. One of the best in the country.
Looking to go over the middle. Nice job there by Schuler, who's made some plays tonight. Getting around, tipping that, and then Watson. Asim Destin, because remember he had that one taken back with the call reversal towards the end of the first half in there. I think it was the same pairing. Wasn't Schuler as well who kind of made the hit that?
It was, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those two were destined to kind of create a turnover tonight.
Yeah, tag teaming big plays tonight. And one of the best in the country at it. It'll be Davenport on 1st down as South Florida tries to officially put this game on ice.
Again, we got a ways to go. We've seen today with all the top 10 losses how wacky college football can be, but South Florida is really in the driver's seat as far as getting that Group of 5 bid.
Yep.
Now, to become a playoff contender and potentially create some waves, you need to create turnovers, play like they did on defense. The other thing is, you get the call here.
Neutral zone infraction. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Rarely see that on the offense.
Let's call a cliffhanger, waiting for my second point here. The other point is, I think once they have a lead, they've got to be able to better run the football to protect leads and not get penalties, obviously.
And run the football without Byron Brown,
exactly.
too.
And I think that's where they need to show here. They need to be able to close a game out slow things down a little bit, which they're willing to do once they kind of get out of lead, to be able to kind of control the flow a little bit, but they've got to be able to run the football with the lead.
Haven't been able to do it much against Florida Atlantic's front tonight, but some explosive pass plays in the second half have helped him out.
Davenport doing everything he could there with the defender draped over him, fighting for some yards.
Davenport outside of Brown with 40 yards to lead the way for South Florida on the ground. It is Brown putting his head down. He is not afraid to truck anybody and dance in front of anybody.
Yeah, that was just run. Watch the way he finished it. Leads with the shoulder, right? Low man wins. Right. He has to turn, run behind your pads. Brown is certainly doing that.
He's flexing on him. Looking sideline, coming back, and incomplete. Got a late hit. Stolsky with a late shoulder check as Singleton bobbled to try and make the catch.
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 44, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Salt in the wound.
Yeah, Singleton, he's going to get a few bites at the apple here as he's trying to find it, never can. And then Stolsky, who's flying in there as that play is continuing as he's trying to find it, but still a step or two too late there. Got to know when to pull off.
Davenport cuts ahead, one man to beat, staying on his feet and falling all the way to the 2.
Davenport was just some tough running there, breaking tackles.
Got in late. Davenport just won't go down. And South Florida ices this one.
It seemed fitting he scored this way. He's been running hard. Stolsky tries to stand him up. He does not stop fighting. Ultimately, it's like human tug of war there. He's able to push Stolsky over the goal line.
Derek Bowman helping him out. Might see a lot of those signs as we go deeper into the season. Even if it's not pretty or perfect, South Florida is dominating teams right now. Gramatica goes down in the extra point. Flag did come out.
Turn the lights back on.
Jumped the gun earlier. Right team this time.
Running into the kicker, defense, penalties decline, try is good.
Hit the lights.
Flash them all you want. South Florida cruising. watching the American on ESPN, and for those who've been tuned in the whole time, you've watched South Florida pull away in the second half on homecoming. Reeling in another win. Students have been great tonight out in that left end zone. On their way to 6-1. Memphis lost today as the prime contender right behind South Florida. And the Bulls in the driver's seat for the Group of 5 college football playoff berth. They'll face Memphis next week, wounded Tigers team. And 9 minutes away from taking down the Owls for a 4th straight win tonight. The negative plays have really started to rack up for this South Florida defense. Maybe their best game of the year.
Well, that second one's really, because again, Florida Atlantic coming in and only giving up 6 sacks. They almost matched what the Owls had given up for the entire year in terms of sacks. Todd Orlando's done an outstanding job with the game plan he's drawn up tonight, and the way those players have executed it. I mean, they've just been in the backfield all night.
Sands is doing his best to make it work, but traffic from the beginning. It's been a different formula for Todd Orlando's team tonight. They were giving up yards the last couple of weeks, but the turnovers is what really helped them out. Tonight, they've just been flat out really good.
Yeah, they've just gotten pressure, disrupted things, and forced in short throws. And there we go in the backfield. When Florida Atlantic has had success, they've had to earn it. They've really taken away the explosive plays. You go back to a couple hours when we spoke to Alec Golish before the game started. He said, you know, we know there's going to be some big plays. We're going to give some. Actually, they really haven't.
No. Unusual for a Zach Kitley team who looks chilly right now. Third down. Incomplete. And a statement at the end. Jalen Stokes the hit on Kirch.
Yeah, and a good smart, just clean, led with the shoulder pad.
When South Florida's offense is at its best, the defense is playing like this, there is no doubt they could compete in the college football playoff. Might as well try it for a 7th time if you're FAU. Short pass, and it won't get it done. Irvin was pushed out short. Ethan Irvin on his first touch of the day. Some growing pains still for the Owls in year 1.
Yeah, I mean, this program has certainly already showed marked improvement from where it was a year ago, but still work to be done as they trail. South Florida leads 45-13.
Some greasy hats for the student section. And a runaway win on the way for South Florida. Gaston Moore, backup quarterback now in the game. And he'll give it off to Davenport, who's run very hard here in the second half for South Florida. Year 3 for the program under Alex Golish. They are recruiting the area remarkably well and getting the guys who left to come back to Florida and retaining some of their star players as well. Moore rolling out, passing for the first time. Or not. He'll take it himself and pushed out of bounds after a short game.
Yeah, I mean, they're not just blindly using the portal. They're going back and bringing guys that they recruited earlier or Florida players that left, bringing them back home, but really putting an emphasis on high school recruiting as well. Sitting with a top 50 class right now. And a lot of young players with Koger, with Neptune, young players on this roster that are already starting to contribute.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix. You've got Nimrod, of course, as the top target, and receivers, Singleton, some older players like Franklin, very old offensive line, but on both sides of the ball, young, burgeoning stars. Alex Golish can recruit. There's no question about that, and the culture has come too.
Signed the number 3 ranked G5 class a year ago. Sitting at number 46 right now in the country. And you know, with their success and all the job openings now,
oh yeah,
a distraction is going to be, whether not even from within, just his name's going to start floating around for some of these job openings.
There's no avoiding it. Davenport on first down to the 15. Especially if they make the playoff this year. After 3 years, you mentioned all the job openings.
You and I were just spitballing this morning at breakfast that I don't want to contribute. How perfect would he be for Arkansas? Got those SEC roots. Seems like they'd have to retool that roster a little bit, but you know, that's what I'm talking about. I'm throwing him out for a job.
No, he would be a good fit. Not necessarily that is going to come up or he would leave, but you just can't ignore the success and how great he's been early in his head coaching career coming from Tennessee. Franklin. And he's got a first down with the Bulls knocking on the door again, averaging 60 a game over their last 3. Can break the 50 barrier here.
This is such a, because again, the state of Florida is so talent rich. And then the campus that's going on, excuse me, the stadium that is going on campus as well. Yep. So a lot of positives here at South Florida as well. Just
$400 million stadium.
Yeah.
They've invested more in football in the last 3 years than they did over the first 20 to 25.
And it's starting to pay dividends, and may even so with a playoff berth. A lot of work to still do, but I think you could agree they're in control of their destiny.
Yep. Clock under 5. And this game was 21-13 before South Florida exploded like they have on countless teams the second half this year. Moore is decked in the backfield. Zaire Horton came free. Make it 3rd and goal. Look at the rendering for the new stadium that'll be on campus. It's about 20 minutes away, so you know, a little bit of a haul to come from the football complex all the way to Raymond James, but this place is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and listen, the students turned out tonight. You get a little bit more of a compact stadium, and it's tough to fill an NFL stadium. You put an air that really change the vibe and give a little bit more oomph to home field advantage.
It'll be on Sycamore Fields, which were used for intramural sports. Now a 35,000 person stadium. 3rd and goal. Moore throwing end zone. Touchdown. There is a flag. Ruben for now has 6.
Holding. Offense. Number 72. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Wiped away the 3rd career touchdown pass for Gaston Moore.
Pulling on the center inside best. You see his, easy call there is Doggett, who they've kind of done a nice job of kind of keeping quiet tonight. CJ Doggett, really disruptive D lineman for the Owls. There he's able to draw the holding call and take those points off the board. See Doggett right there, setting the screen cap.
Yeah, a couple of sacks last week against UAB, leading the team this year. They had to hold him. Short pass. That'll set up 4th and goal. Would imagine it's Nico Gramatica time. First drive for Gaston Moore and a quarterback for Byram Brown, the Tennessee transfer.
They give Moore and his offense a chance to punch it in.
Yeah, why not? 4th and goal from the 10.
There's certainly no rush here in this. You don't usually use that phrase much with South Florida offense. No rush.
Alex Golish knows when to slow it down. Time is right now. He'll probably call a timeout here with the play clock winding down. And with under 3 to go, that's what they do.
First charge timeout, South Florida. 30-second timeout.
Again, this is a young program in South Florida that started in just 1997. When the program began, there were no football facilities. The coaches took over an old Yankees minor league trailer. The single-A complex for the Yankees is right next door. Then they bought 3 more to be their football complex. The coaches back in '96 dug trenches and laid pipes so they could shower. After a couple years, program starts playing in '97, and a couple decades later, here they are. In control of their destiny for a college football playoff berth as Gramatica curls it in. That percentage might increase after the result today with Memphis losing to UAB, but rest of the way outside of that game, big time favorites.
Yeah, well, Navy, obviously, again, I think Navy's schedule is really tough down the stretch, but Navy's always a difficult team. And UAB, well, you know, ex-Memphis, don't take them lightly. Nope. And then again, Memphis, too, is, you know, they're going to be itching to try to get back in that win column next week. So, again, they're in the driver's seat. They're in a great position to kind of control their destiny, but there's nothing kind of give me down the stretch there. And you can see he's still coaching hard despite that he's not happy, right? Kind of throwing out that Nick Saban vibe, you know?
Yep.
Even with the big wins, you always see Nick Saban coaching right up to the very last second. That's what Alex Golish is doing there.
He's got such attention to detail. If something goes wrong in a Tuesday practice, he's worried that's going to throw off the whole process for the rest of the week. He wants everything perfect leading up to Saturday. Part of the reason that South Florida has won back-to-back bowl games and will start 6-1 this year and climb in the rankings.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see with all the losses this week too, where potentially they climb a little bit.
I'd imagine they jump a couple of spots. Jordan Magwood, freshman QB in the game for FAU.
Because you remember too, could they get into the 12? Not even be one of those 12 teams?
That's a good point. An at-large berth?
Yeah.
With a couple wins they had at the start of the year, that's at least a conversation, right?
Yeah, again, they're sitting at 19 now, move up. We'll still obviously have the playoff rankings not too far down the road.
Magwood throwing. And behind Joseph Young, his intended receiver. Cool moment for Jordan Magwood back in his hometown in Tampa. Carrollwood Day High School, 10 miles north of Ray J Stadium here. Second time in his college career that he's been able to step on the field. Does complete it on third down. It's his second completed pass of his career to the tight end Martavius Collins. That'll be fourth down.
That is the two-minute
timeout. All South Florida tonight. Rolling Florida Atlantic midway through the season. Byron, make sure to take care of that smile. American standings, South Florida right now trailing Navy and Tulane only in wins. Tulane and South Florida don't play each other. If both of them take care of business, it looks like they'll play in the American Championship game. Here's Magwood after the 2-minute timeout. Tampa native scoots out of bounds.
Yeah, it feels like they also maybe have the most controllable path in terms of toughness of schedule. Memphis still has obviously the matchup coming up with South Florida. They still got Tulane and Navy as well.
Magwood scrambling, it is complete, but Irvin falls down behind the line of scrimmage.
But the most important thing that South Florida has done again, this is where you want to be, in control of your destiny.
Still a big test next week against Memphis, whose defense is really good.
No, yeah, it's far, and it talked about the process and everything. That's going to be key. How do you respond off to this? And them coming off the loss.
Oh, that's a heck of a catch for Young.
And throw.
Yeah.
Tight
for Jordan Magwood. See the talent. You brought up a great point earlier. So there's a South Florida player down. This probably makes Memphis more dangerous going into that game. It just takes away some of the shine of the matchup with both teams being ranked. Still going to be a really tough test for South Florida.
Yeah. There's a little sizzle taken off the steak, but it's still going to be a tough chew.
After 3.5 hours, Craig Hobbert as sharp as ever.
Kind of like a steak knife.
Got any more?
I'm just going to leave now. You finish the game.
I'll get you back at the hotel. Unfortunately, quite a few players going down for South Florida tonight. Bulls went up 21-3. Florida Atlantic made it a game 21-13 early in the second half, and South Florida just cruised from there. Jabari Smith was the player down. There's Brown. We mentioned that smile and how he takes care of it. 7-step dental routine on a daily basis.
Yeah, you know, and you talk about that, that's great. But what's interesting is it's almost like we talked to the coach, it's like a microcosm of the attention to detail to everything. It takes discipline and kind of a want to do that every day.
Everything about his life is super structured and process oriented, even the way he brushes his teeth. Bagwood picks up 5.
I thought I was crushing it, buying an electric toothbrush. He's putting me to shame.
I don't like the vibration of it. It feels weird, but I mean, he'll use an electric toothbrush first, then manually brush with sensitive teeth toothpaste. Make sure to hit the mouthwash in the morning. Brush multiple times, multiple toothpastes again before he goes to sleep, and then floss to.
Why was there not some type of a dental NIL there?
You'd think.
Where's like
maybe there will
Crest
be
or
now.
Colgate or something. Somebody step up. You got your guy there.
I mean, you saw the smile. It's like perfect.
Yeah. Got a dynamic playmaker, big smile, and a guy who's practicing what he preaches.
Well, he wants to be an orthodontist too after his football playing career. Kind of feeding into that. Bagwood ball tips and hits the grass. Would have been the second pick for South Florida. All I can think about now is when my next dentist appointment is.
When you go in there to see actually your dentist, you ever hear of Byron Brown? He says no. Say good. Not going to hold me to the same standard.
No. You're making it harder on all of us, Byram. Thank you.
His poster should be up in dentist office all around the country.
Bagwood finds Jade Card, freshman out of Miami, as the clock runs to 30 seconds. What a smile, what a player. Another fabulous night for him.
And he's just a great remedy when your offense is stalling a little bit, knowing you have a player like that who can create plays.
Oh, big hit. Smith on the catch, and it was Cedric Hawkins coming in to put on the boom. And the Tampa native Bagwood, with 10 seconds left, get a touchdown. And he'll hand it off. That'll do it. South Florida rolls in the second half. Byram Brown and the Bulls 6-1 and continue to control their own destiny in their hunt for the college football playoff. Bowl eligible for a third straight season. That's a nice footnote. Bigger goals ahead for USF.
Much bigger. Again, they are in a great position. They control their destiny, but a lot of work to still do. But I'll tell you what, that defense, the Tunnel Endo defense, continues to play like they did tonight. And with their quarterback, Byron Brown, his playmaking and ability, they're looking in good shape. And we may be taking a look at one of those teams that's going to occupy one of those playoff spots.
No doubt. Big matchup with Memphis coming up next week. The defense had a pick, held Florida Atlantic to 23 yards. Offense puts up 48. They continue to crush it after averaging 60 a game over the last 3 weeks. Homecoming, all positive for South Florida. That's going to do it for us. The Bulls win at 48-13 over FAU. For Craig Hubbard, our producer Brett Walensky, I'm Jack Kaiser saying so long from Raymond James.